I will save it. All right, 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 all right. Let's see if this is picking up everything. I'm going to try to make this short as possible because I'm not going to lie to you. There's what's going on? Black, what's going on? Cheat. I ain't going to lie to you. You ever had these days where you're not feeling it at all? You're just in a shitty mood. There's no real particular reason as to why. You're just not in a good mood. It started off as being neutral this morning, and all of a sudden, just progressively got worse and worse and worse. I'm just was like, what the hell? Not a good day at work. I hate when things are out of control. I hate when I'm out of control. I'll put it that way. That's shit is always super annoying. Um, but you gotta press on, right? So obviously, if you don't know, I will state this. I usually have like a story time, and the story time for this week, it was nothing really going on, just for a hump day, for gaming, like nothing. Uh, I don't know if you noticed, but we were supposed to. I guess the guy named the snitch. I think Sony was being like extra petty in this bitch, and was like, "Oh, you think that you know when we're gonna release something about God of War? Yeah, I'm gonna cancel that because you thought you knew it." So I think that's what Sony was doing. But supposedly Monday they was going to announce something about God of War, and they didn't announce shit, like nothing at all. Jason Schreier said that it's still coming out 2022, but at the same time, yeah, I didn't say anything about a game. What do you call it? A state of play. So that's how you feel about that. So now looking at it, I don't know. I think they had something ready, and they just literally like some people are kind of being concerned queens right now, thinking that something's going on with God of War. I think that Sony didn't like the fact that somebody was coming out and claiming that they knew some shit, and they literally was like, "Nah, nigga, you thought you knew, but you definitely didn't." So, but that's the only big news that I've seen this week. Really, was the God of War. It's fucking crazy that nothing really came out. I thought for sure something was going to happen, and it never did. But going on to my story time here. So maybe this was subconsciously a reason as to why I had that issue. And my issue was people asked me before, not just like you cheat, but like other people asked me like what's going on, why am I single and shit like that. Not that it really matters, but I guess people just want to know shit in general. And I have like a zero tolerance for people that play too many fucking games. Like I really hate that shit. Like instantly, I'll lose all interest in the girl if she starts playing any kind of game, anything. Can't do it. Can't do it. But I decided to, as you get older, you just kind of become more lax than your restrict. Your the desires, wants, and needs and stuff like that. So I was like, let me do what I used to do back in the day. Problem is, it's not back in the day. It's fucking 2022, and this world is upside down. Opposites are positive, and negatives are. It's all fucked up. But I decided to actually holler at a chick twice. It was two chicks. One chick, I walked up to her, and she uh, wasn't really standoffish up until the point where I asked her for a number, and she kind of had that hesitation, like, okay." And I was like, "Hey, bitch, you don't have to. It's quite all right. Like, I know me. Like, you have to have a certain amount of confidence, and this is not like a conceited thing or thinking that you're better or whatever the case is. But like, I'm just trying to be more social than I used to be. Go up to this girl, and she act like it was a fucking problem. So anyway, she ended up texting me back and told me, "Oh, it was nice to meet you," or whatever the case is. So we had like a little exchange, and she instantly said something about her ass. And if anybody knows me, I'm not an ass man at all. Like I like the boobies. That's just I've always been that way. But she was like, "Oh well, I'm almost finished and working up my butt." She put like the little peach emoji, and I was just kind of asking her. I was like, "Let me ask you a question." I was like, "I see like a lot of fixation on the booty." I was like, "What's going on? What's going on with that?" And she was like, "Well, let me ask you a question. Let me answer your question with a question." She tells me, "Why are you guys so fixated on the booty?" And I was like, "Well, not all guys like booty." So I think at that point in time, I think that was the point where she felt that I was uninteresting because I wasn't conforming to like the norms. It was a very interesting exchange because eventually she ghosted the entire conversation. There was no real rhyme or reason. It was like a mid conversation. She was just like, "Nope, I'm good." Didn't feel too much. Didn't really feel too much about it because she was a strong four. You know what I'm saying? If anything, I was just going to, fucking smash it past. That's basically what it was. But I'm not that kind of dude to be like a dickhead either. So I don't have any kind of obligations, and I'm not the kind of person that just be going out and just fucking everything that walks either. Uh, and multiple people that fucks, just fucking multiple people. Like I usually still stay loyal within the little frame. And typically, I'm too busy. If I'm not gaming, I'm doing extracurricular shit outside of my job. So, and my job consumes a lot of fucking time as well, especially since I got the golden ticket to move where I want to move. And now I need to figure out where the fuck I'm going to move in this particular case in the state. So I'm a little nervous about that. I kind of was ruffling my feathers and was like, oh, they ain't going to let me move. They ain't going to let me move. And all of a sudden they was like, yeah, you can actually move. I was like, oh, fuck. Oh, man. I didn't think you were going to say, yes, shit. I didn't know. So now I got to figure that shit out. Other way, so I'll go basically what ended up happening today. Now, last week I spoke to a chick and we got to talking, and I was like, "Hey, I saw you over there. You do your same old game. You know what I mean? You pop in your game, and I guess I don't know. Maybe she was impressed to some degree. She was okay. She's a six and a half. Well, I mean, something little something. And I asked her. I was like, "Yo, let me get your number. We can work out some time or whatever the case is." She was like, and she turned around and she grabs her phone and she asked me to enter my number in. And we all know what the fuck that shit means. You know what I'm saying? That's giving her total and absolute control over the entire situation. Fine, whatever. You know, I did it, and the way that I go is I'll move on. I'll just keep moving on until I find something successful. It's the sales 101, basically. You don't try to stay fixated on something that's an iffy. You present your case. You got to have a strong case, and if they don't see the value in that shit, you move the fuck on. That's how that works. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to sit there and beg you, especially knowing I'm one of the motherfuckers out there that's kind of high value, kind of sort of a serious situation. So anyway, I didn't pay it too much mind or whatever the case is. I kept going on with my life, and all of a sudden, today I see the chick again, but I didn't recognize her because she was so far in my mind. And I'm gonna tell you why I say I saw the chick again. I saw her again because she came to me. I wasn't in the right mindset anyway because I think I woke up on the wrong side of the bed anyway. I was like totally fucking negative. Didn't want to have nothing to do with shit. But I was like, let me just kind of put a smile on my face because I really don't feel like talking to anybody at the moment, especially people that play too many fucking games. I just have a zero tolerance policy with that shit. And she's like, oh, hey, what's going on? See, I told you I was going to be here Wednesday, blah, 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 blah. So I was like, oh, yeah, sure, you did. You definitely did. And she's like, oh, what's going on? I kept the conversation, to make a long story short, completely cordial. I have time for that shit. Kept it cordial. And I kind of was like, well, what are you doing tomorrow? She was like, oh, I'm going to be working out, but in the evening. I said, okay, well, I don't work tomorrow. We could probably link up. She was like, oh, yeah, I forgot. She had another fucking excuse. At that point, interest went from 13% to like negative 50. I don't even give a fuck anymore. I just don't like that shit. I don't like it. I understand that on social media, men are portrayed as complete predators. That shit's ridiculous. That shit's so ridiculous when I hear that shit. Like we are absolute predators. I saw a tweet. Some chick was like, "Isn't it crazy that women have to? They're attracted to they're attracted to their predator. Like, bitch, be a lesbian then. If that's the case, just don't even fuck with niggas. If that's how you feel about how all men are, just like men have their own risk too. Like, let's be for real, for real. It's not just you, it's everybody. This world is really kind of fucked up, really. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it boils down. Oh, somebody requested, but I didn't even see that shit. George. But that's how I feel about it. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to make this shit negative or whatever the case is, but that's how it is. If you too much fear, like, people are too like completely antisocial and just fear for their life altogether. So I'm just over it. So that's my story time. And I like to kind of give you guys just a kind of view on, on social media. And people have normal fucking lives too. It's not all about trolling and shit. But on to the topics. What's going on, George? Because he ain't saying shit. Hello. Georgie Porgy, pudding and pie. He ain't kissed that girl and make her cry. I guess he dipped out. Where he at? He going. So today, because there's literally nothing, there's no news today, like nothing. I would like to talk about God of War, what happened, as I was saying at the beginning of this show. There's still no fucking news, so I don't feel like the need to even mention about like a fake ass delay. Like I'm just over this God of War shit. I am not gonna lie to you. I think I'm just a little nervous about God of War and why it's not being shown. I don't know what's happening. That makes me fucking nervous. It makes me nervous as shit. Who's requesting? Georgie Porgy. There we go. That makes me nervous.
Yo, hello.
But what's going on, George?
Hey, what's going on, man? How you doing?
You're making it, man. My job pissed me off today, man. But it's not even my job. It's the fucking the customers that irritated me.
Yeah, I hear
What's going
you,
on
man.
with you?
Yeah, I hear you, man.
I don't know. Like I think it was just like the straw that broke the. You ever have that shit? Like you wasn't like you were neutral. You still woke up neutral. You weren't pissed. You weren't happy. You weren't sad. You just neutral.
Right.
And just them motherfuckers took you from 0 to like -8. You know.
Yeah,
So that's how I'm
that's
feeling
why
right
I
now.
quit my sales job that I used to have because I couldn't handle it no more.
Well, it's not completely sales. I just think that I was just tired of just people.
All right,
Motherfucker was, I think it was just today. Like
I hear
I
you,
work
man.
for, I work for like telecommunications and shit like that. And this motherfucker thought because he took his modem back and bought his own modem that he shouldn't have charged for the service. I'm like,
Right.
you just took away the rental. Like, what the fuck?
I hear you, man.
What?
People are entitled, man. But I was gonna say something, man. About the PS exclusives, man. You probably noticed I'm more of an Xbox guy, but I but I gotta say one thing, man. One thing I'll give y'all PlayStation guys, man. PlayStation exclusives, the games are really polished. You know what I'm saying? Anytime there's a PlayStation exclusive that comes out, it took years and years to make this shit. You know what I'm saying? So even though it may not be everybody's cup of tea, nobody can deny that a lot of shit, a lot of work, a lot of effort went into making those games. You know what I'm saying?
And that's what I would typically say. So, but if anybody knows me or interacted with me, they know I love to throw curveballs at situations because it ain't going to be. What's going on, Thrash? By the way, I was, I didn't want to interrupt anybody when they were talking, but anybody that knows me knows that I will throw a hella curveball at a situation. I do personally love PlayStation exclusives. I love it. That's absolutely great for the most part. But what I wanted to kind of talk about is when the console launched, those exclusives all the way up until today. And I want to kind of like break down each exclusive before I kind of end it for today and talk about how people feel about it. Now, do you have a PS5, George? I can't remember.
Yeah, Yeah. I got a PS5 and I got an Xbox. I grew up with the original Xbox, and I got the 360 when I was in high school. So I grew up with the Xbox. But man, I'm gonna say one thing, man. If you just want to play a offline, like a narrative driven game, man, PlayStation delivers. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got too many good offline games. You know what I'm saying? Nobody can deny that. You know what I'm saying?
I will say that they make really good oh, there's Thrash. Okay. They make hella good fucking multiplayer games too. It's just not recognized like that. Like Ghost of
But
Tsushima, really good shit. I like that shit.
wait,
But
what do you mean? Good multiplayer games are not recognized, man. Maybe I'm not aware of it. Why don't you tell me? I'm open
I,
minded, man.
I don't think Sony has been recognized for a multiplayer game past SOCOM on
Right.
PS2. Like, but they continuously made really good multiplayer games over the years, but only SOCOM was recognized, which was kind of weird.
No,
And
but would you
yeah,
admit that Soken was the last good multiplayer game? And I'm not shitting on Sony. Y'all got good games, but I'm saying would you say Sony isn't prioritizing multiplayer games like they should be?
no, the multiplayer games were fucking ridiculously good. Warhawk, for instance, for the PS3, that was like top fucking notch. Nobody gave that game any fucking credit, but like it was up there. It was really up there. As a matter of fact, it was back then a 32 player game and 4 player split screen. Didn't release any real bugs.
No, I remember
You know,
Warhawk. I remember.
yeah,
You remember Mag? Mag was a good game on the PS.
Mag was a decent game in terms of its balance and shit like that. That was okay. Um, they were trying some crazy new things. They also had racing games that was really good, like Gran Turismo 5 and 6, and also the MotorStorm series. They implemented a lot of new things that people just really wasn't accustomed to. Shit, fucking PlayStation Home was a brand new situation. You know what I'm saying? So they should be recognized more for their multiplayer games, but they typically are not. It's
But
always a single player
my
situation.
man, listen. There's nothing wrong with being an offline system. There's nothing wrong with
I
having
don't
good
know.
offline games.
I'm not saying that at all. I'm not saying that there's nothing wrong with it, but they also make good multiplayer games. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, they
They should.
probably
They should.
do.
Hey,
They
hey, I
probably
just want to
do.
know if
But
y'all can hear me real quick. I'm on a headset.
Yeah.
My bad. I don't want to interrupt nobody.
No, no. Go on.
You can hear me?
Yep, I can hear you well.
Okay. Go ahead and finish, dude. I'll go after you, bro.
all right, you were saying something, gamer?
No, I'm just saying that they should be known for their multiplayer experiences because they are also top notch too, especially the shit that's coming out now. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
think that either they didn't advertise it or something was going on. I mean, what do you think about this shit, Thrash?
I think that people not realizing that PlayStation has more multiplayer games at a higher rated level than any console or platform out. I think that you're right. It's overlooked because people want to overlook it because they want to put multiplayer games to where they want it to be instead of what it actually is. You gotta look at Demon Souls. Look at Bloodborne. Those are multiplayer games. They have PvP, PvE, everything. Gran Turismo, Drive Club, all those fighting games that they got exclusively on it. Um, Knack. I mean, there's just a plethora of multiplayer games on PlayStation. But people want to say Forza, Gears, and Halo because those three are multiplayer that Microsoft has more. But in reality, Uncharted has multiplayer. The Last of Us has multiplayer. And these are games that are rated higher than any of those games ever will. So to sit and say that PlayStation doesn't have multiplayer games at a high level is just substantially wrong. And it's wrong for too many reasons. And any game you name for any platform, I can give you an answer with a PlayStation multiplayer game. So he's right. PlayStation multiplayer games are getting overlooked for God knows why. But when you actually look at the picture and see multiplayer games and the plethora of multiplayer games that they have made, it's insane. I mean, fucking Sackboy, fucking Little Big Planet, Dreams. I mean, there's just a plethora of multiplayer games and multiplayer creation games where you can create games and have people multiplayer people playing the fucking game. Co-op games. Fucking Resistance had one of the biggest online multiplayer player
Co-op
counts
games.
in PS3 history until MAD came out. So
Yep,
it's
it was
just
what was it 65? I believe it was like 64,
yeah,
and it was eight
yeah,
player co-op and shit like that. And I think
yeah.
the reason why is because it's something innate with all humans. They just hate. You know, you can't be good at all of this shit. You know what I mean? So I'm just going to pick one. You know, and I think that because of the single player experiences are usually like really, really well fleshed out. It's not. I wouldn't say better, but I would say a little more thought is put into it, and that's not a dig to that either. It's just that you know, the multiplayer is a supplement to the or extension versus the single player being the body of it. And I
Right.
feel like when they did with Gears of War and Halo, the multiplayer was a body, and anything else around that shit was,
Yo,
you know,
yeah,
was a part of it.
yeah. Hey, my man, I was gonna say one thing, man. I've always respected and loved Sony's approach with, you know, if it ain't broken, you don't gotta fix it. You know what I'm saying? Sony has always they dominated the narrative offline, you know, story driven games. You know, they've always dominated. So why fix something that ain't broken? You know what I'm saying? If
But
you're
they're
good
not.
at it, you just be good at it. You know what I'm saying? You
But they're
don't have
not.
to
But
be
they're
like
not.
Microsoft.
They're not trying to be like Microsoft. That's the thing.
Right.
They've been doing
Yeah.
multiplayer games before Microsoft. Really.
Right.
They've
Yeah, so
been
yeah.
always doing it. It's just that their single player experiences was the focal point of it, and that's what
Right.
people ran
Exactly.
with
I
it.
agree with you, man. Single player has been the focal point for a long time. So why would they change their approach? I don't think they need a big multiplayer game. They should appeal
Well,
to who
they
they're
have plenty
appealing.
though. That's the thing I don't understand about this language. They have plenty of big multiplayer games. The highest selling multiplayer game last generation, right? PS4, that was multiplayer only, was PlayStation that sold the highest, and that was Gran Turismo Sport. So more than Gears, so more than Fable, so maybe not Fable, more than Gears, more than Halo, more than all the Forzas that came out of that generation combined. Not all those games combined, but all the Forzas combined. And that was an online. Oh, people were pissed off at the game because it was online only. You know what I'm saying? So it's like Sony has always, and Gran Turismo has always been online. This is Gran Turismo, what, we on 7 now or some shit? Like
Yeah,
Gran Turismo has always been online. I just don't understand the language of Sony needs or Sony doesn't need to change. Sony has been
I
doing what
don't
Sony's
listen.
been
I
doing
agree
for
with you, man.
decades.
I agree with you. I don't think they gotta change anything. I think they're right now. They're a good hybrid console. You know what I'm saying?
no,
I mean,
I want to. I want to. No, but I want to specify. I want to focus on this though. Like it's not. Everyone says. And I don't know why they say it. It's a poor argument to say that. Oh, they're just. You know what I mean? They're really good at single player experiences. That's completely. You know, downplays the shit that everybody's playing now. You like Elden Ring? That shit started with fucking Demon Souls. You know what I mean? If you like Forza, that shit was, you know, Gran Turismo fucking started that shit. You know what I'm saying? Gran Turismo started a whole fucking genre, really, in
Right.
terms of that type of shit. So, but people don't want to fucking give it that kind of credit. It's that should never be a point to say that they are single player. Those multiplayer games be killing it. The ones
Been
that
killing it for
are
years.
the ones that are not Call of Duty. With Call of Duty, when they came out with that shit, the marketing push was really the multiplayer and always been. So I guess Sony is not marketing their games as a
As
multiplayer centric
multiplayer.
thing. So that's probably
Right.
one of the reasons for it.
Yeah. I mean, because multiplayer was always secondary to gaming to begin with. It was
That's
always
going to
secondary.
change.
I
That's
mean,
going to change.
Mario 1 was multiplayer. You know what I'm saying? And on the NES.
Yep.
And
Two
it's
players.
it's definitely changing because the money. I mean, they found a way to go out for money, and people are fucking falling for it, and therefore people are going to focus on that, on getting that money. I get it, but
Yeah,
I
people
think
don't
that
understand.
Microsoft is the one lacking when it comes to actually having multiplayer games that people care about. I mean, they have Halo. They have Halo, one of the most popular multiplayer games of all time. and they made it free to play and didn't know how to make a free to play game. You know what I mean? They ruined that game.
They've been coasting on a lot of on just stagnating ideas. You know what I'm saying? So that's one of
Yeah.
the reasons why the Halo has dropped in popularity because they didn't want to change it, and that's why Bungie said, "Fuck it, I'll give you the IP. Fuck it, I just don't want to do it no
Fuck it.
more."
I want my freedom. You can have the IP.
And that's not the dig at Microsoft. My whole point for this particular space is to kind of rate the games that are exclusive on Sony's platform from launch to now. And that's what I want to kind of talk about. Do you have Sackboy at all? Any of you?
Yeah, I do. I do.
What you think about Sackboy?
I mean, I never liked Little Big Planet, but I always tried to play him. If I could just never get through him, it's just too. I don't know. I don't like the style of it. Some people like it, but I can't deal with it.
You're not a platformer guy, are you?
No, I am. I love platformers. I love platformers, bro. Trust me, bro. I just don't like that style of platform. I just think that it's just too. I don't know. I don't know what it is about it. I just don't like it. It's not Mario. You know what I'm saying?
It feels try-hardy. I ain't going like to me personally. I can't speak for you, but it just feels like it's trying too hard to appeal with the artsy craft. I agree, man. Shit.
I've always said Little Big Planet has no substance. You know what I'm saying? It's you can see got good graphics. It's not a bad game. It's a very competent game, but it has no substance. It has no heart.
No, it has substance, bro. Have you tried Little Big Planet 2 or 3?
I've tried the first one, not the second one.
Yeah, don't disrespect that. Put some respect on his name.
Look, I'll say this: I like Astrobot way better than Sackboy.
On God.
That's
not even a nostalgia either. They could have not mentioned any of the games. The game mechanically is more solid, and it's just to me more innovative. It had more identity.
Yeah, it had more identity, had more personality. No. Actually, Little Big Planet has a lot of personality too, but it's just like you said, it has more of a solid identity of what it is. I mean, when you look at Sackboy, and it's meant to look like it's not complete. It's meant to look like it's made out of paper mache. I don't know what the fuck. I just like for example, Astrobot. You hop into a fucking monkey suit, and then you got monkey powers. You know what I'm saying? Like they changed the. That's how platformers are. That's how almost all the great platformers are. Mario, same thing. You fucking get some power, and it changes the dynamic on how you platform. I don't know if that happens on Little Big Planet, but it ain't happened for me much.
No, the theme of Astro's Playroom was the robots and the circuits and all of those shit, and they kept that shit consistent because they're using real world materials. It could be really anything, and that's what I mean. Like it loses its identity because it can really be anything. I honestly, I feel like the whole European art crafts and shit like that. I don't know. That shit's extra white. But I will say this. But I feel like that was the most cohesive. The Tearaway, that game, that was the most cohesive experience that they made. They kept that shit paper across the fucking board. But still, it just felt like real try-hardy identity. So to me personally, Little Big Planet, it's a C for me, and it was definitely not worth, me getting. I bought the game not because of fanboyism. I bought the game because someone told me to play that game with them. So that's why I ended up buying that game.
Man, I gotta commend you. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not like one of these corporate slaves, on Twitter that just because it's Sony or just because it's Microsoft, you're just gonna pretend it's a good game. You know what I'm saying? I can openly admit that I'm not a huge fan of Crackdown. I think it's a piece of shit. You know what I'm saying? Even though I'm an Xbox guy, Crackdown is it's objectively not a good game. You know what I'm saying? So there's nothing wrong with you not liking Little Big Planet. You know what I mean?
I just wasn't feeling it. You know what I'm saying? I would say the next game that they did have that was a launch title was the Miles Morales, and this was going to be a very controversial game because our comment. I adore Miles Morales. I like the story of Miles Morales. I like the graphics of Miles Morales. They kept it short and sweet, but it's not about it being like a almost DLC like experience. It's not about that, you know what I mean, or standalone, whatever you want to call it. The problem with to me with Miles Morales is really the future of Spider-Man. I need to know what they're going to do with that shit. You know what I'm saying? It was just different enough for me to pay the $40 for that game, so I can't really complain too much about it. But what are they going to do with the new Spider-Man? Is it going to be like fixed time of day and the same mission structure? I'm like, I don't know. Thrash, what do you think about Miles Morales? Like, honestly. You there, Thrash?
I'm gonna just say it's a 10 out of 10.
You think it's a 10 out of 10?
Yeah, I don't know what type of game for $50 you could get that's on that level.
I was gonna say I agree with Abdi. You know what I'm saying? When I got my PS5, Miles was the first game that I got. I would say, man, maybe because the graphics was just so good, but I was really blown away by the game. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it was relatively short, but it was really
No, I
fun.
thought
It
it
was a
was the
roller coaster for me.
I thought that was the perfect length, man. It wasn't. I didn't feel like it was too short. I
Yeah,
felt
yeah, I
like
didn't
it
either.
was.
I didn't either. But
I felt like it
I'm gonna
was
have to
just enough.
you though. I think it's a 9.5, like a 9 out of 10 game. I think it's up there. You know what I'm saying? I enjoyed Miles Morales.
I would say it's a 9 now. I know that sounds harsh. I would definitely say it's a 9 for
No,
me.
why would that
But I
be
was
harsh, man? Nine
no,
is
no,
a good good score.
not the 9, but what I was saying.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying? Because it is very similar to the 2018 Spider-Man. I think it was 2018, and it's
yeah.
like that's necessarily a problem. It's just where can they if the new Spider-Man is going to play like that, I'm not going to be that happy. I want like more. You know what I'm saying? I want more out of the gameplay other than just really good swinging mechanics and good cutscenes. You know what I'm saying? They're going to need to do more than that. So like I can't complain because the money that I paid for it was decent enough. All right, fine. Well, now we go to Demon Souls. Now, Demon Souls, that's a hard thing to say because it's a remake, and the way that they remade it was literally just graphics. That was it. But the game itself was already a full-fledged game. Now, is that a bad thing? No, not at all. Because I never got to play Demon Souls in its entirety. I could never. I was waiting for the remaster on the PS4 or whatever the case is. It never happened. So it happened on the PS5, and I'm cool with that. Like no problems with that at all. So I'm okay with that. Um, I would say I'm not a big fan of the Knights and Dragons and shit like that. I'm more of a I'm a Bloodborne. I like gothic settings, vampiric werewolves. I've always been like that. In terms of that, like I feel like the gameplay is definitely like methodical and slow, but I like the little action packed shit a little bit more. But I would say that game is also a 9 as well.
It was kind
It's
of
a bit.
easy though, right?
It was easy once you understood because it's weird. Back in the day, the boss battles were not hard. It wasn't the boss battles that sucked. It was actually getting to them was the hard thing. And over time, they realized that they wanted to make the boss battles a flair of sorts. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel you.
But in terms of the game itself, I wasn't used to not having certain moves, so it made it hard for me. My brain was just so fixated on Demon Souls or Dark Souls type thing or Bloodborne, and then I got used to it. It was like, all right, cool, I get it.
Did you try the parry? All the parry animations?
Yeah. I
They were
tried the
clean,
parry.
right?
All of them shits were clean. Like if you're gonna do a remaster, that's how you're gonna make it. Which, on a side note, I honestly feel like the Last of Us remake is not like a full-fledged PS5 game. And I don't give a fuck what anybody says. Like it's basically a
Yeah, they
PS4
could make
game.
it on PS4 for sure. Definitely.
I think it's a PS4 game, so it makes me wonder like why did you why is it PS5 only? You know what I'm saying? And I heard it was 1440p too.
No way.
Yeah. But we'll see. I mean, I'm gonna borrow it from somebody anyway, because anybody knows me, they know how I feel about that shit. So, the next game that came out, what was the next game that came out early 2021?
Yeah. Was it a Deathloop?
No. I ain't gonna count that because that's Microsoft's thing. I mean, like Sony's
Ratchet?
homegrown. Ratchet and Clank. There we go.
Yeah.
That was a big thing that everybody was clapping like sills for because of the graphics. I'm going to tell you, if you played the PS2 versions, the PS2 versions was much
Hey,
better than that
relax,
one.
bro. Relax. Chill.
It was much better
Don't
than those.
disrespect Rift Apart like that.
Much better
Nah,
than
it was
those.
actually good though. It was good though.
It wasn't bad, but I would definitely give that game like an 8. Maybe a
It felt kind of
7.5.
basic though, right? Like there
It
wasn't
was
that many
basic
enemies.
as it was.
It was low
It was
key, just
basic
like
as fuck.
hopping
And
from
it-
planet to planet. They weren't
I
that
mean, it's still-
diverse.
I mean, the story was okay. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't a Ratchet and Clank story for sure. It was something else. Because the Ratchet and Clank, those old games were very, like, they were lewd. They were like, you know, they were like a Futurama, basically. And then this became like some E for everyone game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they had a lot of repetitive weapons. And the AI was kind of like real cheap. Like they just had too many invincibility frames. And I don't know. I didn't like the
Bro,
mobility of the characters.
They
I'll tear
recycled
game
that
apart.
sniper rifle for like 5 games, bro.
That's why I'm like, all right, cool. Like the graphics are nice and shit like that. But honest to goodness, when people got up in arms when they sit there and mention it was like, oh, it could have been done on a PS4. It could have. I mean, it didn't need the graphics.
Most definitely.
Like, honestly, like the Rift mechanic, it's not like you could just open that shit up anywhere. They were very controlled parts, which means they could have did a whole bunch of different things, like trickery, to make that happen. Ultimately, that Rift weapon or glove didn't really change the gameplay at all. You can get mad at me all you want, but it didn't. You know what I'm saying? Like gravity boots would have changed things. You know what I'm saying? Which they already had. But like that's a game changer or whatever the case is. It just was nothing. I've been there, done that, and I've done it better with the predecessors of those games.
Yo, I can't believe they charged $70 too. The 2016 game was way better as well. It was only like $40.
It was $70 is the way that shit looked, and on top of it, you gotta understand inflation is a real fucking thing. So I get that portion.
Yeah.
Do I like it? No, but that's like me saying that I want the gas prices to be lower.
No, but they could have charged like 65 because you know
Not with all
the
those- not
the
with the-
2016 game was basically like the same length. And
For what game are you talking about?
Ratchet.
There you go, Ratchet.
Oh, my bad. I was over here. I had to fix the light on my truck. I mean, not on my truck, but on this trailer. I'm over here working this shit. This
You still in
trailer
Arizona?
light was gone. Yeah, I'm on my way back right now, though.
Fucking 200 degrees.
Hell yeah, fucking dust storms and shit. I had to wait that shit out. Craziness
That
out here, man.
that nigga playing his own video game in real life.
Hell yeah, nigga.
Yo, did y'all hear about that fucking trailer in Texas?
Yeah, with all those people in there.
Bro, I wanna explain what that is because people don't know what that is. I heard this is a side note, but I heard some sick shit when I used to work for Verizon.
Uh-huh.
There would be like these truckers and shit like that, right? And I remember this one dude, I was selling him a phone and stuff like that, and he was saying that he had a truck or whatever, and he was coming from the border of Mexico, some shit like that, and he was looking for a phone. So I was just talking to him, and he got into this real fucked up conversation about like, oh, you know, because I think I asked him about hitchhikers and shit like that. Like, can you stop for people? I think I said, can you stop for people because of the time frame he had. He was like, no. He was like, you could see all them people that came from the border and shit trying to stop you on the road. You just run them over. I was like, what the fuck?
You just run him over.
And he was laughing, but like this nigga, you could tell in his eyes, he got that crazy eye.
That's
That
crazy.
motherfucker did that shit. So
He really did.
but
He really did that shit. He was running people over.
I think he did. Honest
That's
to God,
crazy.
I think he did. That motherfucker looked crazy anyway. And ain't nobody gonna say nothing to him either. You know what I'm saying? Well, I didn't even know people were like trying to get in this bitch. Okay, cool. So I was gonna ask you, what do you feel about Ratchet and Clank? Because I wasn't impressed with some Ratchet and Clank.
The new one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it was fantastic. I liked what they did with it. I like how they showcase what you can do with the SSD, and not a single game has been able to replicate that since. I think that was fantastic.
I'm gonna go on the strength
And creative.
of I'm gonna go on the strength of me having fun with the game. I get that shit at 7.5.
Ooh.
And
That's
my
too rough,
reasoning,
bro. Come
Oh
on.
man,
That's
that's
way
that's
too
harsh,
low.
man.
Ain't
and
no
my
such
reason,
thing as too low. Yeah, ain't no such thing as a too low score. I mean, let the man have his score.
7.5.
and my
Actually, I mean,
reason,
like
well,
7.6 is okay, bro. Not
this
7.5.
nigga,
Why?
my reasoning though is that I've played the better Ratchets on PS2.
I
You
mean,
know,
I hear you on that. If you want to go by how you felt on it, but I felt this one was better. I like Rivet. You know, like I think they tried to change the dynamic of a game that's very old.
I feel like they could have made it bigger, much bigger than what they've done. Like to me, like as a fan of the Ratchet and Clank series, I
They could, but would they
definitely.
turn a profit?
What'd you say?
With it launching at launch, if they would have put another 70 million, would they have given that money back?
Yeah, no, the game was worth $70. Is that what dude was saying?
No,
the 2016 game?
Thresh, no. What I'm saying, I'm talking about the 2020 or 2020. Like, if they would have put like 150 million and made it way bigger and stuff at the launch, when there's not very many people who have the console, would they have made their finances back?
That ain't up to me to be thinking about, man. That ain't up to me.
Yeah, like
That's
you
asking too
gotta
much.
understand. These people have the right to sell the product for the price that they want to sell it for. They could have made it a fucking a 2D side scroller, downgraded, pixelated, and cost it $70. It's their prerogative to charge it that much. It's our prerogative whether or not we're going to buy it. We can't tell people that never happens. You can't tell somebody how much they should charge. I don't think that a Big Mac combo should be $11, dog. So my choice is not to buy it. You know what I'm saying?
Any circumstances, but
Yeah.
I'm not saying that it's not worth it. I'm just saying in terms of my enjoyment and what I believe that they could do, especially since they made other better games than Ratchet and Clank, such as Miles Morales. I'm giving it a 7.5, all for the strength of their talent. But in the other games they used to play, I mean, they used to build. So I mean, but I got my fixings. And speaking of, worth of games, you're talking about Returnal. Now I know your ass didn't finish Returnal, did you?
Who, me?
Mm-hmm.
Of course I did. What?
You got the two endings?
I finished. I don't know how many endings. I got one ending. We need two endings.
There's two endings.
Oh, there's three endings.
When I played the shit, the credits went up, and that shit didn't continue from the credits going up. So if there's a different way to get an ending, I think I don't go for super separate endings. But I beat the game.
They
you know what I'm saying?
I mean, I gotta give you that.
I mean, her baby was in a car crash and all that good shit, and it is what it is.
There was some sun fragments you collect, and then they give you the second ending.
Oh, like you get the second ending if you do extra shit. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
well, that's
like any other game, like any other game. Yeah. They ain't nothing new.
I'll go back and try that when I feel it. But I mean, I like Returnal. I beat it. I liked it. It was good. It was fun. It was challenging. It wasn't difficult, but it was challenging, and that's the type of shit I like. Challenging games. I don't like shit that's difficult for no reason. You know what I'm saying? And this shit it was just challenging because the different shit you got to look out for. You got to manage all these fucking shits going on around you. So you got to manage everything. Your life, how what powers you take, what gun you get. I mean, it's all randomized. So you got to manage every single playthrough differently almost. And I like the concept. I liked how it was built. It felt tight. It wasn't the most beautiful game. People were claiming that shit is all super fire beautiful and all that. I don't think it was beautiful. I don't think that game should have been $70, but I accepted the $70 and paid for it. I think Kenna should have been 70 instead of 40, and that should have been 40 instead of 70. To be honest.
Agreed, but if you set a standard, you can't really be jumping around either. Then people are gonna be like, "Why was this one 50? Well, this one was 60. This one was 70."
That's why I said. Yeah, that's why I said that we can't go out and tell people what to charge their game for. I would understand. Like if somebody if they'd have charged 70 for Kenna, nobody would have batted an eye. You know what I'm saying? At that.
Because it looked like it
looked like a $70 game. It played like a $70 game. It had the length of a $70 game.
You know what it is? I think subconsciously you think about randomly generated levels, and you could feel if it's crafted or not. See, Kenna was crafted from beginning to end, and the randomly generated environment that's in Returnal is not that they were trying to be lazy. It's just it's part of the game loop. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Which is cool. So I can't really knock them for that, but I will say, if it had the co-op out the gate, it's a $70 game. It don't make no sense on how smooth that co-op is.
That's
no
fair.
sense.
That's fair. I
You
mean,
know,
like I said, I agree with
ridiculous.
that. That's fair. That's fair.
But
I mean, we as customers do have the right to say, hey, this should have been this should have been that. But we just can't tell them, hey, you know, your game isn't worth this. We can say what it should have been, but we can't tell them what it's worth. We don't know what it took to make it. You know what I mean? And we don't know how big their team is. I mean, a game like that with a small team is going to be as hard as a fucking Halo Infinite with their large team. You know what I'm saying? It's just that it just
I think
all that shit got to be taken into
game.
account.
They did that game dirty. That's the guy. Like when it came out, they were. What was that one guy said? Everybody thought he said it was a buggy mess or some shit like that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Everybody was like, we all heard it, but it never happened for some reason. We got caught up in the Mandela effect. I swear to God, I heard that shit.
I mean, same with Starfield. I mean, people are saying that's going to be buggy. Hey, even God of War. Like I said, I'm watching God of War with a fine-tooth comb, dog. Real shit. If I have to fight that same troll over and over again, like I did in 2016, I'm giving that shit a 5. I don't give a fuck.
Corey knew about that shit too. So there's no excuse that. I mean, I know he ain't directing it, but there's no excuse that I have to fight that same troll with different colors. Absolutely not.
And kill him in the same animation, my nigga. Do you understand how not God of War like that is for boss fights? Like God of War has always creatively killed his enemies every time. He's always used some different type of war tactic creativity. That's his special power. People don't understand. That is a genius war guy. That's why he's a God of War. Like he can kill you in ways that you wouldn't think of. Like, how the fuck am I gonna take down this big ass shit? He will fucking find a rock that's sharp enough and ram your neck into it. He will fucking, you know, like the first boss in part 1 when you fight that Poseidon, that dragon thing.
You talk about in the PS2 one?
Yeah, the PS2 one. When you
Hydra.
Yeah, the Hydra. When you slammed his neck into the oars of the fucking boat or whatever the fucking the sails. I mean, the nigga was. I mean, that's what God of War is. He always had creative ways of killing. When I killed that troll for the second time, I'm like, damn, again? But when I killed him and it did the same exact animation, I was like, nah, man. And then when I fought those dragons, when I fought the first dragon, I'm like, okay, this is where the real bosses are. I get to the other dragons to free them niggas as side missions, and them niggas flew off, my nigga. They flew off. I was fighting the same little niggas that I've been fighting the entire game. And the boss that I thought I was gonna free to beat his ass flew the fuck off 3 times in a row.
I will give them this. The reason why they did that is because God of War wasn't, you know, it wasn't looking too hot. You know, they made Ascension and they fucked up big time because them God of Wars were heavy hitters when they released, and Ascension kind of took them back a peg. Now they were going to do something different. And they had a certain budget, and that's where they made these particular cuts. So I get it.
But I'll be honest about Ascension, though. I think Ascension wasn't bad, bro. I just think people were tired of it. They were just tired of the same old, I'm Kratos, I'm mad, I'm gonna kill shit. I think
you know what I didn't like about Ascension? This is why I didn't like about Ascension. I didn't like the colors that they used. Because I will always lose Kratos and that kind of monochromatic type, you know what I'm saying? Like it was too realistic of a color palette, and he wasn't as gray as he was. And I would always lose him. And that rage mechanic wasn't that great either. But like, and then people didn't want a prequel either. They did not want a prequel. After what happened with God of War 3, people were trying to figure out what the fuck happened next. And then you get a prequel like that, and then they added multiplayer to that bitch. Another multiplayer game, by the way.
I got into a game like 3 months ago at that. I almost shit my pants.
What do you mean?
I got an online game on there. I had to wait like 10 minutes, but
they still had the server. They still had a service up.
Yeah, there was only 4 people on there, and it took like 10 minutes. But I was like, God damn!
PS3 be killing it. Okay. Now, what other game came out in 2021?
Damn, y'all niggas switched on games like real fast though. When I came in to talk about Eternal, y'all niggas talk about God of War.
Nigga, keep up, motherfucker.
Shit, nigga. What's good with y'all niggas, man?
What's going on? What you want to say about Returnals?
Hey, look, nigga, Returnal was 11 out of 10, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Beat your mama, nigga. Shit. But real talk, dog. Returnal was fire, nigga. I gave it an extra point out of the bracket of 10 because y'all niggas recognize Celine's ass, nigga, the way that shit drooped, nigga, in a cup. The way that bitch cup, you know what I'm talking about, nigga. You know what I'm saying? That shit just cup just the right way, nigga.
No, you wouldn't know something, yo.
Perfect for your hands, nigga. Them shit was built for your hands. Nigga.
There was two servings. That's what that was. Now I'm gonna say this: a serving is a handful. So that was 2 servings for each ass cup.
Hey, yo, Celine was clean, man, and that soccer mom with the gun skills. You know what I mean? And she had footsies. You know what I mean?
Yo, you wanna know something? The best level, right? Was that Mars level where they sprinkle a little bit of cinnamon on their ass cheeks? That one.
Oh yeah, big facts. when that just hit the soup, you know what I'm saying?
She had a little cinnamon on her ass. I know that
the shade just changes. It changes ever so slightly the way the light hit and shit.
I'm mad. Who's the developer again? Housemark. I'm mad. I took a picture or so, right? I think I did like the little photo mode and sent it to them. They retweeted that one. I was like, cool. Then I sent another picture that had her ass in there, but it wasn't noticeable, but they didn't say nothing about that. I'm like, y'all did it. Y'all made this character. What you mean? Yo, I didn't want to retweet
that. Knew what they was doing, dog.
What's going on? What's going on, COVID?
Yo, bruh. I mean, I'm pretty much wrapped it up now. It's pretty much passed. I just had a fever for like the last 3 days. That shit was killing me.
Damn.
Yo, yeah, that shit was fucking tough.
You got it again?
3 times.
What do you mean twice?
Damn.
Why do you got twice?
I think that you never really confirmed one of the times. You just was like,
yeah, I probably had it more than 3 times, but who cares? All I want to say is these exclusives for PlayStation are not worth $70. Like, I just want to be the voice of reason in here. I don't know why you guys in here fucking capping.
There's only one game that's worth $70 out of this list, and you already know what it is. You already know what it is to me.
I don't know what games y'all niggas been playing.
None of these games are worth $70.
All I'm saying is y'all niggas. I'm hearing niggas say that games ain't worth $70, but they'll buy that shit at launch. I don't understand that. If the game ain't worth $70, wait for the price drop, nigga.
Yeah, relax, back. All these games should be in PS Plus. First of all, I don't even know why.
That's foolishness, man. Carry your ass to bed, yo. I'm sick of him. I'm sick of it.
Like this, the same way I feel about what Thrash said that you can't tell, devs what the game is worth and shit, and you can't worry about the price. It's the same I feel about when I buy my GPU for $2,000. Mind your fucking business, B. You know what I mean?
Mind your business, lady.
If you don't have $2K to drop on a GPU, then I don't know. They can buy a console, nigga. That's not your business. You know what I mean? I'm gonna drop whatever I want to drop on my shit, bro. I'm gonna spend $70 on the game. If I think it's worth it, I'm gonna pay the price. If I think whatever is worth, you know what I'm saying? When it comes to anything, food, cars, whatever. If you think it's worth that price and you pay it, that's on you. Like, I don't understand why people have to debate the price. Like Black said, wait for it to go into fucking PS Plus or some shit 2 years later. There's a lot of ways you can get these games for cheaper. I don't know why people gotta cry about the price. When clearly games like Horizon and then Ragnarok and all these games coming out, they're clearly worth $70. The fucking amount of effort and talent and details are in these games. You know what I mean? Like Horizon Forbidden West, that shit's definitely worth $70, bro. That game is long as shit. There's so much shit to do in there. The fucking game design is beautiful. Like, I don't understand why there's a debate on the cost of games. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm starting to see fucking PlayStation niggas talk about some pricing.
Insane.
I'm starting to see PlayStation niggas talk about some. I would like this to be on PlayStation Premium. I'm like, if you go sit your stupid ass down somewhere.
Got that Game Pass effect.
I don't blame them though, right? Because now they're paying for the premium. They're paying for a PlayStation Premium, so they think in their minds like, I'm paying this money for this thing, so I should get some better games.
You paying that money for the fucking trial. But here's the thing, though. There's an actual scientific study about when you get things that is valued for, like it's valued lower than what it is, or if it's free, you don't really take that shit seriously if you got it easily like that. So I've always said that, and I have to one of these days post the study there. But in terms, I don't think there's no other game in 2021 that Sony released, right? There was Returnal and Ratchet and Clank. That was theirs exclusively, right? That was it.
So you only talk first party. You talk about
first party. Yeah, first party.
I don't know. Let me look this shit up.
I think it was pretty fortunate to go 15 years without a price increase. I mean, think of how much shit's gone up everywhere else in 15 years. Like, Jesus Christ. You used to go up 10 every generation. We went 15 years. That's really good.
Well,
and I bet you they're looking at the price of inflation. They're like, bro, that 10% got covered year one. Like, the fuck?
It went up and down.
Arizona iced teas are still $1 though, bro. Like,
where that shit poisonous. That shit cancerous.
Yeah, but beer's cheaper than gas or milk.
what?
See, yeah, I know. That shit's all
Everything
over
up. I got to sell body parts to get groceries now. Everything up like motherfuckers. My house too. My house is up 130K in 5 years. The fuck? If I had a place to stay, can I stay with you, Josh? I can make a grip right now.
You can sleep in a tub. Put a blanket in there.
I ain't picky. I've been slept on rocks on top of Humvees. It's cool.
I guess you can. I mean, I don't know. I'm looking at the list of games, and there's not a lot.
I don't think that they've released that many. Right.
They only released Ratchet and Clank and Returnal, but then they had Deathloop, and then Kena, and then they had like that's about it. But those are on PC though, so I can't even really say that they're exclusive.
No, I mean it's console exclusive. So that being said, right? So we can actually move to 20 this year, and so far, I'm gonna honestly go out on the limb and say I am wholly satisfied with what they had. I didn't need anything else but Gran Turismo and Horizon Forbidden West. I'm not gonna lie to you, like the quality jumped like a motherfucker. Like I don't really know what else you could like. I mean, there's little things here and there. Damn that. I've been playing Gran Turismo. I know a lot of people were sitting there acting like Gran Turismo was like, oh, microtransactions. I'm like, nigga, you could just literally keep driving and you'll get it. You get these expensive ass cars, yo. But I see you, Nelson. You've been playing that shit for a while. Lately, I should say. It's just fun. I don't know what the fuck they did with the game. It's fun as hell.
They keep adding content in cars for free till the game for years, up until the next one releases too. It don't cost you nothing. So,
yeah, so
you're paying for DLC when you buy it because it don't cost nothing. Win the money. People bitching about microtransactions and shit like that. Or I ain't buying that shit if it's a nickel. I don't give a fuck. That's not how I win my shit.
I did buy. What do you call it? I bought a 370Z in GT Sport, but that was it.
With credit? Oh, I ain't never bought shit.
No, because I wanted to drive the car. It was a reason. That was so stupid. My reasoning. I was like, I had to learn how to drive my vehicle because I got into that head-on collision and some shit a couple years ago. I was like, I need to practice.
What has Sony dropped as far? Just Gran Turismo and Horizon. That's it. So far,
Uncharted Thieves too.
We're not talking about remakes.
Okay.
We're not counting remakes. I think, like I said before niggas jumped in my neck, I think AAA, as far as AAA games go, this shit is dry as fuck, bro. Like we need some AAA big blockbuster games to drop right now, bro. I don't know why this summer is so fucking dry all the time.
Fall's gonna be oversaturated too, so
yeah.
Like if God of War doesn't come out fucking within the next fucking 2 months, the summer's gonna be a total bust as far as I'm concerned.
Releasing games, they gotta figure that shit out better. It's
like
release a whole bunch of shit.
You can't do that shit.
You got big ass games launching neck on neck for 2 months, and then nothing for 3, and then it's like a cycle of eating each other.
Your favorite game is coming out, Jemiah. The fucking what's it? Forspoken.
Yeah, Forspoken's coming out. Stray's coming out.
Yeah, all that shit's coming out in the fall, though. I'm talking about like right now. I need a game.
No, Stray come out next week.
But
Make a
it's
new
not,
game.
it's not a triple.
Oh, yeah, it's not a triple A game, but I did forget
shit.
about that one. That's going to be my favorite. That's going to be one of my favorite games for real, for real. I will say this, yo, Jeremiah, New Game Plus, get on it.
No,
Game
I mean,
Plus.
I mean,
Yeah,
gaming has always had a summer drought. Sony has stopped the summer drought by coming out with games in February, March. Like, and then this one.
Yeah, I don't get it though. Like Saints Row could have came out in the summertime. Like any game. Like, and also I hate this whole Call of Duty thing where people are like, don't drop any games next to Call of Duty. Fuck Call of Duty, bro. The same dumbass people play that shit every year. Other people can play other games, bro. I hate that whole everybody's scared of Call of Duty dumb shit. Like,
You know what's funny?
I mean, Nintendo just came out with a game yesterday, didn't they?
I don't have a Switch though.
Yeah,
Did they have
put all the
Fire Emblem or
onus? You
something?
can't put all the gaming onus on PlayStation.
Well, I'm talking about third party itself. There's no third, like Saints Row, like fucking
Empty.
like Hogwarts, like fucking Gotham Knights. Those games don't need to drop in the fall unless they're not finished. Like, I don't understand why devs try to compete in the fall when you know there's only going to be a limited amount of games people can buy. You know what I mean?
I mean, didn't that one fighting game just come out yesterday?
What fighting game?
DNF Duel.
I'll play it right now. Yeah, it is.
Is that new?
DNF Duel dropped.
Melty Blood. No, not Melty Blood, but there's a new game, new fighting game that came out like the other day.
I'm playing it right now.
Yeah, like what are you on right now? It ain't dry. You dry, nigga. What you mean?
You just don't play certain games. That's all.
It's only dry on Xbox. Good.
No, I want it, bro. I need something crazy.
Are you
right
telling
now
me
to
that
play,
you
bro.
beat all those AAA games that came out in February, March?
What do you mean? I beat the games that I wanted to.
Huh?
I beat the games that I liked. I mean, I beat Horizon.
Well, shit. You still got Elden Ring? Play that.
Man, I'm not playing no fucking Elden Ring.
I mean, you asking for AAA games, and now you asking for games that you like. It's like, damn.
Do you consider Elden Ring a AAA game?
No, but it's.
I was gonna say I don't consider that a AAA game.
Yeah, I mean, you can't, if you only want AAAs, then you would never satisfy with video games. Because AAAs don't come out that much. We get like 2 or 3 AAAs a year max.
Rotations
I don't mind.
awesome. It's dope.
No, the onus is not on Sony because Xbox is definitely failing when it comes to AAA games. Like,
right.
But as far as third party, I mean, I got some. What I got like Evil Dead. I picked that up. I got Lost Judgment I need to play. I got a bunch of games I need to play that I'm playing on the side and shit. But it's like I want that one game that's gonna catch my attention, like a Ragnarok or a fucking Hogwarts, or you know what I mean? Something that's gonna be like, damn, son, like everybody's gonna be talking about it. But all that shit come out in the fall though. It's like fuck.
October is just stupid. Like there's like 6 big games in 1 month. Big ass games.
Yo, they dropped that horror game too. What's that?
I should have been playing Redfall right now. You know what I mean? But you know,
man, you know that shit might not be done next summer.
You are a horrible troll, yo.
I'm not trolling, bro. I'm not trolling, bro. Like
concept art, that shit ain't coming out no time soon.
Xbox, third party. I think as I said before, third party is failing the industry right now. Like Sony is being forced to carry these companies. Like what we got, Resident Evil, fucking 8 third person. That's gonna be cool, I guess. But I was like, third party. What third party? What happened to all these third party companies out there, bro? Like EA's not doing shit. Ubisoft's not dropping shit. Extraction was garbage. Like
they're way bigger than Sony too as far as employee goes. They're like double or triple the size of Sony. That's funny.
Like everybody's fighting this console war, but what about these third party companies that are supposed to be giving us fucking games, bro? Like there's no great AAA third party games coming out until fucking November.
Pentiment.
Shit. What the hell is Pentiment even coming out?
November, I think.
Yo, Johnny, what you gotta say about all this, man?
Can you read it though?
Wait, who?
Kakashi.
You talking about 6ix9ine? I'm leaving.
No.
Are you talking about that Chinese game that all these Xbox dudes is playing right now?
No. There's somebody that jumped into the chat. Kakashi Johnny.
Naruka Blade Point.
Now I can't read these. I can't read these symbols. What's your name?
He's starstruck, bro.
Nigga muted. He taking a shit.
Nah, but you get what I'm saying though, right? Like Sony's been dropping some exclusives which are great, but it's like they're so far in between. I mean, Last of Us remake is gonna be fire. I mean, I'm gonna play that joint, but it's like this whole industry is fucking.
Yeah.
It's
Well, I see what
like,
you're saying.
dry
You
right
want
now.
you want. This is what he wants. He wants from what I'm seeing is just an abundance of just popping shit, man. Just shit that is just lavish fucking AAA games from everybody across the fucking gaming industry.
But Sony and Xbox both said that they're gonna drop a AAA game every quarter and shit. That's not happening. I mean, Sony's is the closest one that's sticking to that. Fucking.
Bruh, if they can get a non-racing game every other year, that's fucking progress, dude.
Oh shit. It's fucked up. Yeah, y'all horrible, yo. I'm trying to come in there and be fucking
I'm
cordial,
not.
yo.
It is what it is. It is
Y'all
what
just
it
keep
is.
trying. Y'all just keep.
I think next year is fucking completely stacked up as far as games go. I don't know if they were ready, like if the chip shortage really messed them up that much. But next year we got so many games dropping. You know, Spider-Man 2, KOTOR, fucking Suicide Squad, fucking just so many games come out. Diablo 4,
Starfield, Redfall,
Street Fighter,
Pentiment. Oh my god,
Street Fighter. Like
yeah, Pentiment, nigga.
But it's like right now, though, I think the industry is fucking dry, bro. Resident Evil 4, like, you know what I mean? Like next year looks fucking stacked, bro.
No,
But like,
I
Dead
don't
Space,
know.
it's crazy.
Maybe because I was waiting 5 years for my Horizon Forbidden West. I'm totally satisfied. You can close it up.
And you got
I
to
do
play
have
it
a
for
question,
5, so
though.
the next one will come out too.
so
What'd you
if you say that if Sony doesn't drop God of War Ragnarok this year, would they be a failure as far as exclusives go this year?
No.
You think that they can just rest on for Horizon and GT?
Yes.
I mean, they're both good
two,
games, but I'm
that's
saying
two
you think
big
it's
time
enough?
AAA games. Yes, they can. Who else has put out 2 AAA games this generation? What other consoles, including PC?
Nintendo.
You know, they're Potentum. You know, like yes, Sony can rest on just Horizon by itself because they've already done more than everybody else. Like we can't just keep putting the onus on Sony, blaming Sony for the
Well, that's what he's
lackluster
saying.
bullshit
I'm not blaming Sony.
No,
What I'm saying
he's
is,
not
though,
saying. He's asking the question of what's going on with the industry.
shouldn't Sony like take this time to be even greater, like to even go harder, like saying that nobody else is coming out with games?
Well, they can't time their game. What are they gonna do? Rush their games to hurry up and come out so they can look better?
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like,
it comes when it comes.
yeah,
No,
like
but
they can't
I'm not-
really force it. You know, like it is what it is. It's all
But
time.
Jim Ryan's the one that said he wanted to drop 4 games drop a game every quarter. I didn't say that. That's what Jim
Who
Ryan
said
said.
that?
I'm sure they could too, but I'd rather have
Matt
the
Booty.
work.
Matt Booty is the one that said they want to drop some shit every quarter. That was Matt
No,
Booty.
Yeah.
Jim Ryan did too. When he first came out, he said that they wanted to up their AAA output and put a game out every quarter. Jim Ryan said that.
So third party games don't count.
Said when he said that they wanted to focus on AAA games and people are like, oh, Sony's abandoning indies, remember that shit? That whole fucking conversation. Like,
If you include the third party exclusives, I think that they covering that shit because there's been third party exclusives up the ass, bro.
bro,
But everybody
third party is the worst right now. Third party is even worse than Xbox, in my opinion, because like there's so many third party games that could be out right now. Like Skull and Bones, that shit's fucking been supposed to come out 10 years ago. Fucking Skull and Bones, you got that fucking Good and Evil, Beyond. All these games that were supposed to come out have never came out. Like I don't know what the fuck's going on with the industry.
I don't think Beyond Good and Evil exists anymore.
So what I was saying was with Jim Ryan, you were talking about Jim Ryan.
Mainstream. Oh, my bad. Go ahead, bro. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you good, man. No, I was saying that you were talking about Jim Ryan. And you were saying that Jim Ryan promised a certain amount of exclusives. And I feel like we kind of fuck up what he's saying when we separate the exclusive third-party games. Sony has made sure that they've had exclusive games throughout the launch and this year as well. And
no, I agree with you.
Anybody likes those games, that's a different conversation. But there are exclusives to be played. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not blaming Sony, but I think that as the leader though, sometimes you have to take that on your back. You know what I mean? Like you're the industry leader. Like the industry goes where Sony goes. So I think
but they have though. They've nigga Insomniac alone is carrying gaming.
Facts.
Tell me they're not. Insomniac alone is carrying this shit right now.
I think Sony, Square, and Capcom are really out here doing the most right now as far as
Japanese companies are killing it right now. You know what these American companies? These American companies, you know what they're doing? Them motherfuckers are trying to find ways to rob us more, dog. That's what they're doing. They're focused.
They're creating online casinos. That's it. And they get the guys in there. I won't spend $10 more for a game, but I'll drop $1,100 on Apex. No questions asked. Fucking weirdo shit.
Do you think this is going to be a problem though going forward? Like, do exclusive games have to be more dominant in the future, or is it gonna is the industry gonna start devolving into fucking game as a service bullshit?
We don't know. I mean, my bad. Go ahead, Josh. Bro.
I was just gonna say it's gonna be like these streaming services, in my opinion. That's what I think it's gonna be. It is gonna be exclusive for a platform. Maybe
I think it's gonna be exclusives. I think it's gonna be to piggyback on that. I think it's gonna be exclusives to exclusives to services. Like Sony already got games exclusive to PS Plus. Nobody's talking about it. I literally gotta upload this video going the fuck off about that shit. They have made games exclusive to the PlayStation service.
Oh, you talking about those like Tekken or some shit like that? I think.
Yeah. Those PS1 games they made exclusive to the service, and I say suck my whole dick on that.
But I had bought it, so I've
nobody's. You can't buy it. You have PS.
Oh, you can't buy it. I already had it, so.
Yeah, you already had it, but I'm just saying.
I think what's happening.
Bullshit.
I think what's happening is if you peep it, it's third party that's doing it. I don't know what kind of agreement that fucked up. I'm not condoning it, but I think it's whatever type of agreement because you can get their games.
I was gonna say it could be Namco. Namco could be like we're gonna do some remastered bundle or some shit. We don't want to put it out right now.
Konami took the Metal Gears out of there, and Sega took the Sonics out because they probably want to really release those. Sonic did.
I think Konami might just be doing a remaster of some shit.
That's what I think.
That's why I think they took them. That's why Sonic got taken out.
And
I can't really agree to it.
Acceptable? Is it acceptable to put out remakes as new games, like exclusive games? Like The Last of Us Part 1, the quality when I seen from that one clip with Chess is gonna be a fucking amazing game. But is that acceptable to put out in place of a different game?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yes.
Hell yeah, keep them coming, double it up.
I mean, put it like
a whole
this,
bunch
bro.
of shit I want to see.
I don't know. I mean,
Naughty Dog made The Last of Us 1, right? The end of the generation. Then they made Uncharted 4, and then a DLC for Uncharted 4. Then they made The Last of Us 2. That was in the whole 7-year span of the generation. Right now, they have a TV show coming out that they want to promote. And somebody wanted to remake The Last of Us 1. They felt like The Last of Us 1's experience could be better experienced in the new engine that they just created. So I think that this was easy work for them. They're going to charge $70 for you suckers to buy, myself included. And I think that's a fair thing for people who are fans and the new fans that are going to come to The Last of Us because of the show. Halo just did the same thing. There's a lot of new fans of Halo that don't know shit about how great Halo used to be that have played the game because of that trash-ass show they had. I think it's fair game for them to run their business the way they want to. And it's our fair game to be like, we don't want this shit. I'm not buying it. Suck my whole dick. That's
you guys
where
also
you
agree that
Dead Space is going to be $70.
Yeah, Dead Space is going to be $70. It's going to be
it's $70, but the AI.
Yeah.
You guys remember Last of Us 2 had the best AI in gaming we've ever seen.
Yeah.
We can all agree on that, right? So if you imagine all of that throughout,
Josh is God, you just could go on all day. I didn't do that.
I was gonna say,
hey, how about this? Think about it like this, dog. All the remakes that we have in movies, do they charge us less for those movie tickets?
Nope.
You know what I'm saying?
No. I'm not debating the price. What I'm saying is it okay for companies to fucking like even Capcom, they're doing Resident Evil 4. Is it okay for them to keep remastering games or remaking games instead of making new IPs? Like, that's my question. Like,
Yeah,
Is it okay?
Cap coming out and said they had 3 new IPs coming.
Yeah, I think it depends on what they're doing, what the plan is, because a lot of new IPs are hard as fuck to sell. Nostalgia
No
is
doubt.
easy to sell. You know what I'm saying? So I think
I think
Naughty
it's
Dog
good.
is comfortable. Naughty Dog, no matter what they make, people are going to buy it, no
But
matter what.
I think it's
But
going
right
to
now,
be. I think it's
though,
going to be complimentary. I think it's going to be
if
complimentary.
niggas said that they're gonna come out with an Uncharted 5, that shit will
That
way
sell
more
like hot
hype.
cakes.
That's way more hype than Last of Us remaster. You know what I mean? Remake.
Oh,
You know
big
what I mean?
facts. Giant facts.
So I just
Thinking
worry
his
about the
daughter.
industry.
Giant facts.
Yeah, I just
I
worry
mean,
about the
I'd be
industry relying on remasters too much and remakes.
I'll
think
be
it's
hyped
gonna
for
be-
the Nadine. I'll be hyped for the Nadine Chloe combo.
Oh, I
I'd
want
be
to
hyped
Lost
for that
Legacy too.
for part 2 of that, like a whole game
of
of that. I'd be hyped.
Bruh,
I'd be hyped.
that's my dream right there, nigga.
The remasters
yeah.
are just so they can have equivalent to PC because they're putting in the PC. That's the whole
Yeah.
behind. That's all it is.
Big facts. That's big facts. Well, it's the show
mean-
too, but you're right about that. It is also because PC. And people
Even as a
keep saying that
PC
PC is a
nigga, I don't give a
platform, and
fuck.
PC is not a fucking platform, bro.
You can't leave someone with a 10-year-old version and then
It's
give
not
it to
a
PC and be like, you got it 10 years ago. You run it like how that shit ran, you know?
Yeah.
Well-
I mean, I don't even think it's made for the people who beat part 1. I don't even think they made that for people who beat part 1. They made it for the new people they're gonna get. You know, Naughty Dog since The Last of Us 2, and basically The Last of Us 1, but then they've reached a different tier, and PlayStation, Sony themselves have reached a different tier. That's what Jim Ryan was saying. They've reached a level of shit to where the brand name sells their game now. Every time you see Sony Studios, PlayStation Studios, you expect it to be that shit. Period. Automatically, you got hype behind it. You see PlayStation Studios, and they can sell anything they fucking want to sell, bro. This is how it's happening nowadays.
Damn, I didn't even know everybody was up in this bitch like that, yo. What's going on, everybody?
I
I
think
want to
having
say
their
this.
engines and just having them
Oh, shit,
tailored
that's sick.
to be able to make the games that they want really helped to create their vision.
And I think Corey need to go back on break. What the fuck, Corey? Like, stay on Twitter, bro.
Yo,
Like-
wait, I posted this shit right
Tell me,
before we close out, right? I will delete this shit to you guys. So the guy's name is Randy Negretti, right? Somebody says this. He says, "Why won't you just go on and tell us that Ragnarok is delayed so we can move on and plan the rest of the year? Seriously, this is getting frustrating." And Corey says, "Because it's not." So Randy says, "Where the hell is it? Why are we waiting so long?" And Corey says, "Randy, we're not Nick Ready. That shit's bars."
I told
The
you why
dude-
they're not ready, Josh.
No. I'm not
Nick-
talking about that. I'm talking about the guy's name is Randy McReady. This nigga said, "Randy, we are not McReady." I'm fucking done, yo. This dude is a fucking
Bro, you
Yo.
know, I think Sony's learning from like every game that's had a release date longer than like 3 or 4 months out has been fucking delayed. So I think they want to get to let's not say shit until we know we can 98% meet that fucking date.
If it's going to be delayed, it's going to be delayed.
It's gonna be delayed no matter what. Yeah.
No, but it's not going to be crazy delayed. Like, I mean, their delays are a little different. So,
But my problem is they keep doubling down, tripling down, quadrupling down that the games come out this year. If it's come out this year, then give us a fucking date, bro. Like, I'm sick of this on
I
Twitter.
told you.
I wrote
What
that
if they
tweet.
give you? What if they give you mid-October and they don't get it out till November 30th though?
I don't give a
Then
fuck.
you're
My
gonna
thing
be.
is,
A lot of people will.
Yeah, bro. I'm sick of going on Twitter every 5 seconds. I see some nigga fucking harassing
Hey.
Corey.
I
fucking
know.
harassing my
If
whole
I was Corey,
timeline.
I'd be done with the. I like fucking these
Like,
PlayStation
bro,
dudes are fucking-
But here's the thing: they are doing this shit. I told you that fucking Jim Ryan is a fucking. This dude is a mastermind. I don't like that nigga, yo. This nigga is doing that shit on purpose. He's building up hype. That's what he's doing. He knows exactly what he's fucking doing, yo.
Yeah, he does.
I don't think you can hype Ragnarok more than what it is. I
Bro,
think
he's trying it. He's trying it. But you know what?
I think God of War. Yeah.
I think this is a big middle finger to that fucking snitch dude. I think they was petty as hell and was like, "Oh, you thought you had it? Oh yeah. Nah, never mind. Nah,
I think he just put out his goddamn locker combination, and people made their own goddamn.
Hey, you know what else? You know what else could have happened?
About.
They probably trying to fish him out, and they gave to pinpoint who's the link.
Possibly, but who the fuck knows? People are like, oh, he's using goddamn sign language and binary code, and it's bouncing this off a satellite. Like, goddamn, you don't know what the fuck he's talking about.
He's trying to like spice it up and shit. You know how it is.
Yeah,
like,
no, but
he's trying to spice.
People are making their own conclusion, is what I'm saying. He didn't actually say
and
shit.
Persona are going crazy every day. I swear, talking about every day I wake up and see J Barbie and Persona talking about God of War got dropped today or news. I'm like, bro, y'all gotta
I be trolling them. I'll be like, nah, 2023, nigga. I don't hear shit. 2023, nigga.
But I think, like, even if they get delayed to 2023, I think, like you said, maybe Sony will be okay, but the industry overall, I don't think it's not looking good.
I think it'll be fine as long as Forspoken comes out. December got Protocol. September got they got. I mean, I can't even remember all the goddamn games, but it's ridiculous.
They got enough games. They got enough.
I mean, we got Hogwarts,
October's gonna be a fucking bloodbath.
I guess Call of Duty if you're into that bullshit. Yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of the same names though. You know what I mean? Like the same.
Your expectations. Yo, you start to sound like a modern woman right now with your expectations.
What you talking about, bro? Like, like next year, like KOTOR remake. I'm looking forward to that. Even though I just said remakes aren't good, but like KOTOR came out like fucking 25 years ago. But like, you know what I mean? So like, it's like there's a lot of games coming out that are new IPs or interesting IPs that I think are gonna be better. But this year is like, bro, like the shit is slim, bro. Xbox has 0 games coming out. Third party basically is like not really doing shit, and then Sony is basically just letting God of War float around in the air and then making people crazy. Like,
but you know what else it could be? I think because they still have, you know what else is floating around, right? PlayStation VR 2. So I think they're gonna do something with that. There might be a God of War version of in VR, fucking throwing the axe and shit and all that shit in VR. Like, I'm not saying the game itself, but I'm saying like a separate game, kind of like Horizon. They might have a God of War game, and that might be what's holding it back. You know what I'm saying? It could be that. They want to announce both at the same time. Just like they did.
If you want to know what's holding it back, Thresh, send me a private chat on PSN. I'll tell you.
All right. Well, I'm on the road right now, but I'll check it out when I get home.
I already got someone in trouble. I already got someone a call from Sony once, though, so.
Yeah, I heard about that. Well, listen, guys, I'm gonna wrap this shit up. I'll tell you about it. I'm about to wrap this up here. I'm
just so you know, they all listening.
Mm-hmm. Well, if they listening, motherfucker, drop that shit. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, so I can look at Twitter in peace now without niggas going crazy every day.
This fucking freeway driving right into this goddamn lightning storm, dog.
There you
go. Today, dog. I don't even feel like dealing with this shit. Fucking my truck blowing everywhere and shit. Like, god damn. And I'm empty.
Brother. Hey, drive safe, bro.
Yeah. Them trucks when they're empty, bro, them shits be like fucking paperweights, nigga.
Yeah, nigga, on me. I'm over here driving like Miss Daisy. People looking at me and shit, flipping middle fingers and shit. I'm like, nigga, I don't give a fuck. Nigga, I don't care. I don't. Yes. Fuck me too. Yes.
Yeah, I don't understand people. Do you like shit in the store? You may want to give these truck drivers some fucking room, bro.
Do you really want me going fast right now, my nigga? You don't. I hit you, I'm not gonna feel it, my nigga.
I need my Amazon fucking shit coming, nigga.
Motherfucker be mad as shit, yo. I'm like, man, you will sit your ass. Yeah, every time, cause you know I got that fucking car and shit like that, yo. If I drive the fuck around, man, I be driving crazy till I see like a piece of precipitation. Y'all be like, nah, that car can handle that. That car.
That nigga Thrash got a fucking trailer full of 4090s, nigga.
Bro, nigga, Thrash, let a nigga know, son. Yo, I'm coming through like Fast and Furious Part 1, nigga. With the Honda Civics, nigga. I'm coming through with the crew, nigga.
Never. I don't want to buy that hub that is a PC. Crew, I don't game on a hub.
Nah, yo, speaking of which, real quick though, you see how Sony is definitely trying to cater to PC niggas, right? They trying to get that favor.
Because they're not catering to PC people. That's just a new market that they're putting their games. I figured it out. PC isn't a thing. It's just a hub for other apps. Like Steam.
Sony
Steam is the platform. Epic is a platform. GOG and all that. Those are platforms. A PC is nothing more than a marketplace, like a TV and its app or a cell phone. Apps. The cell phone is not really shit.
A
It's the
cluster of
apps.
error codes.
Yeah, it's like it's.
Do you think that now with the new monitors, Sony ready to go day and date?
Yeah, I said I called this shit.
I'm out of here, man. You know what? I'm done.
He's out
Anyway, guys, I gotta get out of here, man.
All right.
Hey, why you dancing around that conversation, nigga?
Yo, he didn't want to believe it.
Hey, he ready.
Let the
Yo,
man
Trash,
eat.
when you
Let
get
the
back,
man
Trash? When you get back, Trash?
All right, y'all.
Yo, Trash, when you get back?
All right. Oh, when I get back, I'll be back at like 2:00 tonight. I probably won't be able to do a
Nigga, every
round table.
time
I won't be able to do a round table probably till Saturday or something. Friday,
I was gonna
Saturday.
say I'm finally off in the nighttime during the weekday. This nigga out of town, like this nigga.
It's all good.